So what's up, guys? I'm finally back, and the last time I did the session was last week. It's just 7 days ago, last week on Monday, and I decided to do the session today because definitely the market isn't moving during the weekend, but today is a nice day for us to simply see what's happening in the global market, both on the macro and the micro. So I think we've had a rally last week. We had a huge rally last week in the crypto space and also in the stocks, especially the tech stocks. We've seen Tesla pumping. We've seen Apple, Netflix. I think Netflix has already pumped 100% from its bottom of July to August. Tesla has pumped 40% to 44% from its low. And Bitcoin has also pumped 40%. And we can also see S&P 500. These are the equities. It has pumped from 3765 back to 4016. So currently here we are talking of 3785. That one we are talking of just a bit. Take these here. Yes, we are talking of an increase of 6.35%. If I'm not mistaken, 6.35%. Yes, 6.35%. That is on equity. That is the S&P 500, Nasdaq, Dow Jones. They're all different, but I mainly look at the S&P 500. And also with today, I think some of the stocks have been halted under the S&P 500 because there was a lot of volatility happening, but I think maybe they have been reopened. So let's look at a stock like the S&P 500, and this one is in the 1-day time frame. So if you're checking the S&P 500 within the 1-day time frame, as you can see, whenever we top out, okay, whenever we top out, this is the first top, this is the second top, this is the third, fourth, and the fifth. Current on my previous video, I talked of the top levels that you're looking at. And now, if you can check this chart, we've now tested the next top. We've tested the next top currently at 4015. And we tested the bottom. We tested this bottom over here, 1, 2. So the question is, what's the next movement what's the next move that we're expecting on the S&P 500, the rest of the equities? Today or yesterday, we tested the 4039. We were almost breaking this trend line, but we didn't break the trend line. Rather, we tested this as a week, and this week over here, it's telling us that there are a lot of sellers than buyers at this current price. So what happened? Immediately, the S&P 500 price fell from 4036 to the price of 4015. Same week we've seen over here also, we've seen a huge week, tested the trend line. There are huge sellers compared to buyers, and now it started retesting to the downwards. Same thing, we have also seen a week here, then restarted it to the downward movement. So what are we expecting from here? Definitely this chart is telling us that yes, a downtrend is coming. That might have been the top. We are calling it a bear rally. That might be the stop of the bear rally at the price of 4036, and now we will be coming back down to test other lows. And if we do break this trend line over here, then now we are talking of the S&P 500 falling below maybe 3846, 3880, whichever. If it break that low, then maybe you're looking at other targets, and the main target to look at as the 2020 lows is at 3363 is a new low to look at the market. So currently, am I bullish? No, I'm not bullish. I'm not 100% bullish, but I'm on a 50-50 because no one will ever catch the top and no one will ever catch the bottom. But with the confirmation of the top of the S&P 500 through this trend line is telling me that there might be a bearish momentum coming up in the market. That's a signal for me. And also on the same signal, we're also looking at the RSI, that's the relative strength index. If our RSI within the daily currently is at 59, if it's able to fall below the bullish trend line, this is the relative strength index, then I'm expecting some downward trend on the S&P 500. So it's either we bounce from this trend line, okay, it's either we bounce from this bearish trend line, or we move below it, and where I'm expecting also the S&P 500 to fall and for us to test the new low, another low that was there on October at the rate of 30 or below 30, whichever that comes. But if you are able to break above this trend line, then I'm expecting a bullish momentum, and that bullish momentum will make the price of BTC now have a retest at the level of 25k. This is the level that I'm looking at next. If you're able to have the retest at 25,425k, then that's a bullish momentum on the Bitcoin space. But before I move to BTC, remember, our trend lines, both the bullish and the bearish trend lines, are showing us something. And that's something that the bullish and bearish trend line are showing us. They're showing us there's a squeeze that is happening in the market. There's a squeeze. We've moved down, up, down, up, down, up, but there's a squeeze that is happening within this space. I'm talking of this space. Which one should I use? Let me use this. I'm talking of this space being filled over here. This is the space I'm talking about. This space, this area over here. So the timeline is getting squeezed time by time, and whenever we get squeezed, we have to break out on the upside or on the downside, whichever way the market decides to move. So we can either break on the upward, which is above 4,036, or we move below the bearish trend line, head back down, and if you're able to break the bearish trend line, then the target I'm looking at, we might have a double bottom at 3,586. That's the first target I'm looking at. If we do break 3,586, then the next target I'm looking at is at 3,363. But time is moving for the S&P 500. It needs to break out definitely, maybe on the upside or the downside. On the upper level, we haven't broken the upper level for a very long time. And if you can check it out, since January 2022, we haven't broken on the upside on the S&P 500. And that's why if you're able to move on the upside, then you'll start seeing stocks, especially the tech stocks and the crypto stocks, moving up. If we won't, then you're about to see a downtrend in the market. If we move to BTC, where everyone is now bullish, and I'm seeing coins, a lot of coins are pumping. I'm seeing Aptos doing a 4x. Coins like, I don't know, I don't know even what that is. Arwave is doing well as a privacy coin. I think it has pumped 45%. Various coins have rallied, and people are now anticipating that that might have been the bottom. So I'll keep repeating, buying cryptos at this state is like catching a knife. You need to invest what you can afford to lose, because if BTC is able to drop even 20%, you'll see those cryptos dropping at a level of 40 to 50%. You need to be very, very careful with cryptos. Now, look at the pump that we're all talking about. We're talking of a pump at, there it is. We're talking of a pump at 21k, which was the FTX high. Okay, this was the price where FTX was at 21,404, and everyone was saying we cannot surpass 21,404 because that was the FTX high. Yes, that was the FTX high, but what happened? Majority of people shorted at 21,404, and if you can look at this chart keenly, you can see there was a lot of resistance on the buying side. There were majority of sellers than buyers at this stage of 21k, and this is where majority of people went short at. Now, if you can check on the liquidation level on the date of 21st, then that's where majority of investors were caught up, and you can see between 20th January 21st, we have seen majority of shorts were liquidated at $235.54 million, where they were thinking that that will be the top of BTC. And currently majority are now trading on OKEX compared to Binance. So there's something happening with Binance in which I really don't know of. If you can look at the other short, you're also seeing at OKEX $256.63 million shorts were liquidated compared to Binance at 125. And before, longs were being liquidated last year. So you can see the rate of volume that is changing on these centralized exchanges. In Binance was a huge one at that time compared to OKEX, and now things have changed. Majority of people are now trading on OKEX compared to Binance. So I can't talk about that because I don't know, but that's something that I've just noticed currently. Now, with that movement that happened over here, there's just the same thing. As an example, if you're running, and definitely it will arrive at some point that you need to get tired and maybe take a bit of some rest. It might be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 30 seconds, 10 seconds. And that's the same thing that happened to BTC. It was overbought at this rate, and as you can see, its relative strength index was actually indicating at 88.35. That is being overbought. And at this level, it moved sideways a bit and then continued to rally up. And that's the same thing we are now seeing currently in the market, where we are seeing some sideways movement of BTC, in which we might either touch 25K or we might see the level below 21,404. And this is the most interesting part, because if Bitcoin is able just to retest the 21,404 and then move on the upside at 25K, I'm still expecting majority of individuals to be liquidated. Because the main question I think I normally ask everyone is, why are you shorting at this state? Why are you shorting at this rate? You're shorting something that you aren't certain of. Yes, macro looks 50-50 bearish, but that doesn't guarantee you to short BTC at the rate of at the price of 23K. You could have shorted Bitcoin at 49K, 50K, 55K. Why are you shorting Bitcoin now, almost at its lowest, or maybe it had hit its low point? I'm not seeing any reason for anyone to start shorting Bitcoin currently, or I'm not seeing any reason for anyone to long Bitcoin currently, because the volume is quite low. With that, I agree. But you might be catching a knife, because 15K might have been the bottom. And if the 15K was at the bottom, what happens? We might retest that 15K level, having a double bottom. Same thing as I said to the SPX. We might have a double bottom at the price of 36.54 to the price of 35.69. And that's the same thing that might also happen to BTC. We might have that retest on the downside at 15,806. Now, don't forget, we also had the same rally last year, May, where it pumped from 34 to 48. Look at what happened over here. We had that double top testing, and that double top testing is what I'm talking about over here. Let me show you guys. Over here, one, and another one over here, a double bottom. And then what happened from there? BTC pumped until 48K, pumped from 35K, moved to 44K, dumped to 36, almost 34K, pumped again, dumped, and then moved up until 48K. So everyone is now currently saying that the bottom of BTC is at 10K or 12K. Everyone is waiting for 10K or 12K. I do believe, and I've always believed, where majority of people are is where the price never heads to. We were all talking of 100K. That never happened. Now, the same individuals are now talking of 12K to 10K. People are now keeping limit orders at 12K or 10K, saying that is where the bottom is. Because if we could all be saying that the bottom of Bitcoin is at 12K or 10K, then I think we could all be wealthy at this state or at this rate. But then, if the bottom isn't at 12K or 10K, that's why these kind of people have been liquidated in the market. These are one of them. $492 million. They were talking of, these are the people that are talking of 10K to 12K. They have been liquidated because they were shorting, and they were assured that Bitcoin is now heading on the lows. Same individuals have also been liquidated at $235.254 million. Now, shorts are paying the price compared to the longs. If we move to DXY, we are seeing various rates at this stage. We had a double top of the DXY at 112 or 113. Then we've just seen that decline, and that decline is about to test at 101.910. We are about to have that test. Yes, we might have that test at 101.90 to 100.813. But everything or anything that moves on the same direction over a long period of time needs to change. We can't be having the same momentum every time. Bitcoin has been on the downside ever since, but what happened? We've now seen that pump from 15,803 to 22,901. And this is where majority was shorting at. Why are you shorting at this rate or at this point? Same people are now shorting DXY at 101 to 100. Why are you shorting DXY at 101 to 100? Why? Just because it's been trickling down now, the mindset, okay? According to us humans, that's how our mind rhymes. We believe that whenever something goes down, it will continue heading further down. And if it continues moving up, it will head further up. And that's why it's difficult for people to move their assets from the top or to buy their assets at the bottom. Majority of people. And DXY, I'm looking for DXY probably to test at 100.62. And I'm expecting a relief rally of the DXY. So I'm not saying the DXY definitely will come back to the top of 113 or at 112, but I'm expecting a bounce of DXY at 100.813. So where I'm expecting the next stop to be, I don't know, but I'm expecting a bounce at 100.813, or even at the current price, I'm expecting a bit of a bounce for the DXY. Inflation isn't down yet. The reason why the markets are rallying is because retailers are believing that the Fed are about to pivot. How can the Fed pivot at inflation rate being at 6.5%? Their target is at 2% and 3%, and they were firm by saying that they will impose policies not favoring what the market direction or sentiments are. They will make their own decisions, and they will impose policies that are required and that doesn't favor the market. Currently, what we are seeing in the market is that riskier assets are pumping on a huge run. Riskier assets are pumping hard. Bitcoin, those are riskier assets. Stocks, Netflix, Tesla, Spotify, they are pumping hard. Those are tech stocks. Those are risky assets. Still, we haven't seen maximum pain in the market. So I'm not saying that 15K might have been the bottom, but I don't think we've seen the maximum pain in the market, taking people at least a bit of some time for people to, to move out from the market. Because if you look at even Bitcoin's dominance in the crypto space, my major place is on crypto. If you can look at the Bitcoin dominance, then we can notice something. Or is it? We can notice that the Bitcoin dominance has been pumping from 39.55% to 44.20%. So let's look back in 2018. What happened with the Bitcoin dominance? The Bitcoin dominance in 2018 moved from 35% to 49%, came back down to 39%. Definitely altcoins were rallying, and then the Bitcoin dominance came back to 60%, continuous rally to 60%. And at that time, altcoins were not rallying at all because people were in fear that those altcoins might wreck some individuals. So I'm not saying that the Bitcoin dominance need to arrive at 60%, but what I'm saying, we need to see a higher rate of the Bitcoin dominance. How will this higher rate come? This higher rate will come if BTC is able to come down and then start rallying up, where people will only investing in Bitcoin, then later on they'll take their profits to Ethereum, and then later on they'll take their profits on the various altcoins that they are bullish on. Let's look at Bitcoin in 2018. Let me look for that chart so that you can see if it might happen as we do anticipate. And here it is. You can see. Now, October, Bitcoin dominance, June, July, from June, July, August, May. Okay, here it is. October, Bitcoin dominance, 62%. And this was the time that BTC dropped on October or November from 6,624 down to 3,320, 50% decline. And this 50% decline made the Bitcoin dominance rally from July, that was on 42% back to 60% up to September or October, between one of those. Now, did we have any rally at this stage? Did we have any rally? Yes, we had a rally at from 6,624 in April to 9,869. That was on April. And what happened on April? On April, March, April. On April, the Bitcoin dominance came from 50.36% back to 38.59%. Then from there, what happened? Bitcoin started moving sideways, 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 sideways. And as BTC moves sideways, people are scared because they do believe that some of their altcoins will never come back to the price they invested to. And that's when we started seeing the Bitcoin dominance pumping up and up and up and up slowly by slowly. So the Bitcoin dominance doesn't have to be at 60%, but it should move higher. And by higher, I'm targeting the Bitcoin dominance probably being above 50%, in which we are close, just a 6% increase. So if you can move sideways for a while for BTC, then the Bitcoin dominance will start moving up. If you can have a huge dump in the market and then a rally for BTC, then the Bitcoin dominance definitely will reclaim above 48% level that I am looking at. And if I can check at the chart of BTC currently, then I should say if I can check the chart of BTC currently, then I should be impressed on what it has done. I'm trying to, okay, trying to just lower it down a bit. Nice. Now, I'm looking at this level for BTC, that is. I'm looking at this level. If we're able to move below this level for BTC, coming back down. So coming back down, what does it mean? It can come back down in a flash. It might be a 50% decrease, a 30% decrease, or a 20% decrease. And that's what I think might be coming. If not, then we'll have a flash on the upside. And by the upside, I mean testing above 25K, hovering around, and then moving back up. So I need a confirmation, first of all, to simply say that yes, that was the bottom. Macro isn't telling me that that's the bottom, because we haven't had the Fed talking or saying that we are now pivoting and you're keeping a 50 basis point or a 75 basis point or a 25, because the European Central Bank today, some of their committees have confirmed that they will still impose a 50 basis point. For the Fed, it might be a 25 basis point to a 50 basis point, but I'm expecting a 50 to a 75 basis point, but mostly I'm expecting a 50 basis point at this rate because they have been killing the market. and economists want the unemployment rate to start rising. That will give a significant indicator that recession might be looming. And today, data from the UK came out ugly, and that's how we have seen that drop even on the S&P 500, a negative 0.17%. But majority of people are looking at the stocks and the equities of the US market. So yes, we'll see what the rally will head to. Is it 25k? Are we testing 25k? Yes, we might test 25k. Will we move above 25k and stay there at 25k? Fine, that's bullish. 15k was the bottom. But it's better you need to keep some powder in your investment. That by powder I mean your capital. You need to always conserve your powder in the market. Because if BTC falls and you bought Bitcoin at 21,404 or at 22,000 or 23k, if it falls up to the 10k or 12k or 15k that people are talking about, or even $7,000, then which kind of powder will you be remaining with to buy the bottom of $7,000 to $10,000? So if your dollar cost average currently, I won't suggest anyone, though this is not financial advice. I think majority of people are dollar cost averaging at this point. Myself, I can't or I won't dollar cost average at this point because Bitcoin is still at the level of being overbought. All indicators are suggesting that Bitcoin is at the level of being overbought, and the last time Bitcoin pumped this high was in 2021. So I'm not attempting to dollar cost average or purchase anything at this level, rather longing or shorting the market. Whatever happens, happens, but I'm looking into that. I'm not in any way doing those kind of things. So yes, you can get excited that that might have been the bottom, but let's not get too much excited. Let's at least keep some powder for either or in any way a downturn comes in the market. It's best for you to protect your capital in any way. There are so many opportunities that are coming in the market. You haven't missed anything. So many of them are coming into the market. And if you can look at gold, gold has been rallying. Where is it? Gold has been rallying because people are in fear of recession. People are saying recession is coming. So if recession is coming, where are people running onto? Not Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't a hedge against inflation. I repeat, Bitcoin isn't a hedge against inflation. Everyone is running onto gold. So who are these individuals that are purchasing gold? No one knows, but gold has been rallying and it's still rallying. 1933 today, gold is still rallying. You can buy gold on those centralized exchanges. You know, gold, I think it's in Binance, OKEX, I'm not sure, but I think gold is their PAX. It's called the PAX. Just search PAX. Gold is still rallying. Okay, anyone can trade gold currently. And has gold been overbought? Yes. Is at the rate of being overbought. Same to BTC. So should I buy gold over here? Yes, I might buy gold over here. It might just rally a bit before heading down. Just a bit to have some rest, a bit of some accumulation before another movement on the upside, or it comes trickling down on the downside. That's happening. What's happening with gold? So am I bullish currently in the market, especially for BTC? I should say not currently. Not currently at all. I'm not bullish on BTC, but I will prefer to keep some powder on whichever opportunity that comes up. If that was the bottom, I'm fine with it. If that wasn't the bottom, I'm also fine with it. So we need a huge confirmation. Nothing has been confirmed yet. And now people are talking of this golden cross that is coming up. Okay. So yes, YouTubers have been talking about the next 100x altcoin, the next 200x, the next 300x. Just ensure that you reserve some of your powders to buy those altcoins that you might be seeing are bullish for you, but in whichever way that you decide. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing over here that I'm talking of is of financial advice. This is just for educational purposes only. So I'm only here to just speak out on my thoughts, and my thoughts are telling me that pain is coming. Pain might be coming, and it might be coming hard. And by hard, I mean BTC might have a huge flash. By flash, I mean it can even drop even 30% within even 10 minutes, or 30 minutes, or 1 hour, or a day. I think that's the pain that might be coming, because this rally that happened was a whale that bought BTC worth $2 billion. If this fella withdraws the $2 billion, imagine what will happen to BTC from 23K. Because all these individuals that have been purchasing BTC above the $2 billion level, they are retailers, and those are us, not him. So if he decides to withdraw as one of the market makers, then I'm expecting a huge downturn in the market. So let's be cautious. Crypto is highly volatile. Stocks are preferable, but crypto is very volatile. Stocks are over, BTC is overbought. S&P 500 hasn't been overbought, but it was almost heading to the it was almost at the overbought level at 71, but yet it hasn't reached at that level. That means if it hasn't and it continues rallying up, then I'm expecting BTC to touch 25K. If it hasn't, then a downturn is coming to the market. So there's an altcoin that I'll be talking about. It's about minting. I'll be uploading that video soon. But today I just wanted to speak out about what's happening. I'm not excited at all. I'm not sad at all. I'm just neutral. I'm waiting for the market to do its thing, because one thing that you have to understand is that let nature take its place. And in crypto, nature does take its place. So all those altcoins that you're seeing at the top 100, Cardano, Polkadot, Lido Finance, Synthetics, Ave, majority of them will be wiped out with due time. They will all be wiped out. 95% of them will be out. Only 5% of them will remain. So you have to be also cautious what you're investing in and what you're also dollar cost averaging in. Yeah. So I'll be giving out another update within the week. So that's all I had for you guys today. I'm hoping you've all understood on what exactly I'm trying to mean and how cautious I would like all of you to be, including my community. So please, please, please remain cautious. Don't feel bullish at all. And if you're longing or shorting, be cautious at this level. This might be the largest bull trap in the market, where these centralized exchanges are about to have a nice meal on the day that they liquidate all these longs. So that's all I had for you today, guys. So take care, have a nice time, and